Sorry, my thing's just starting up. You guys should have all got an email to utilize the Black Cheat Code, our GovCon AI tool that allows you to look up where your money is in government contracting. Hopefully you guys are able to utilize that because that's going to be how we network in this industry, knowing what your NAICS code is and what it is that you do. Again, this is how you're going to go about talking with someone. Sorry, got a message up there for error. Oh, that's not good. Sorry about that. Video and Google Chrome. Sorry, I got an error for one of my streams right there. I'm not sure what's going on. But anyways, let's get back to it. So network in the comments. Make sure that you're letting us know who you are, where you're from, no matter when you watch this video. And you'll see why here in a minute as I start to ask you guys more questions. And you guys leave comments. You'll see how this stuff easily aligns. Now, my goal is to get you guys out of here in an hour or so. So I have the timer in the top right-hand corner. At the end, I'll answer questions if those are there. So be sure to write down any that you have so I can answer those. And of course, I'll have some things for you at the end of the presentation that you guys can take advantage of. But I don't want to keep this thing going on all night. Let's get this party rolling so you guys can learn about this government contracting piece here. Now, what I promised to each and every one of you all tonight is to be able to show you and everybody today how to do business with the world's largest customer. It spends over $3.54 trillion a year. And there's levels to this, right? So it's the federal government's budget that we're talking about, but that trickles down into your state government, as well as your local government, your ports, your, I was about to say your airplanes, but your airports, your railroad system, as well as your education system, and there's many more, right? But it all starts with the federal government at the top. That's how the money starts to trickle down here. So hopefully today I can get you to understand that there's an opportunity here for each and every one of you guys. Now let me be super clear that the GovCon strategies I teach you today, they work for the financial industry, healthcare, transportation, retail, education, administrative, warehousing, manufacturing, construction, agriculture, real estate industry. Yes, the real estate industry, the tech industry. I know that's heavy. Social services, arts, events. All of my people doing events. I mean, guys, it's coming up the time of the year for events, elections, nothing but events during elections time for your federal, local, and state, post-elections, galas that are going to be going on for the government. They don't pay for this stuff up front out of their pocket. They don't put the events on or anything. They tell a contractor. And the reason is because they're spending our taxpayers' money. And in order to spend the taxpayers' money and keep the economy rolling, they got to give this money back to the taxpayers in the form of contracting. So as you see, food and beverage, the government needs to eat. The prison system, they need to eat, okay? It's so many forms of government contracting. Entertainment. Hope you don't think that these actors and stuff show up here or these musicians show up and perform for free. They need local bands to give music. I mean, the sky's the limit when it comes to entertainment. Insurance. The government's got to be insured. They're a business as well. Lawn care. There's grass all around you. Trees all around you. Cleaning. Everything needs to be clean. Tell me a government building that doesn't have over 500 people walking past it every day, touching the door and the windows. That needs to get cleaned. Okay? This is pretty much the anything industry. If you can think of it, I'm pretty sure that the government has some type of contract that could satisfy exactly what it is that you do. Now, this stuff works, and I know it works mainly because I've been doing it all my life. And everything I've accomplished thus far till today, which includes, but not limited to, and I need you to really pay strong attention to the C's, okay? I graduated high school using these methods. I graduated grade school. I became a member of Kappa Alpha Psi. I was a scholared and honored football athlete. I graduated college with a C average. I had my first and last job using my techniques. My first government contract I got using my techniques. My first $1 million. And the story is still being written to how far these techniques and strategies that I'm going to teach you are going to take me. And I want you to start to follow along and utilize the same strategies. What you'll learn from me today comes from experience, not anybody's opinion. I didn't ask for it, or their emotions. Now that that's out of the way, let's get to the sauce. The only steps needed to win government contracting is the cheat code. But first, let's address the bigger issue. Who the heck am I, and what gives me the right to talk to you about this subject? Well, I'm that guy right there. I'm that guy that the teachers doubted that can make it out of school or to probably be arrested. I was the athlete, middle linebacker. I threw every party you could think of. I drank a lot of Hennessy, and I did everything that you could possibly imagine for what they quote unquote call the black athletes. I became the member of Kappa Alpha Psi. As you can see, I started a transition, and I was part of the MLM thing that they often call scams or pyramid schemes. Well, it was a great business to me, and it taught me a lot. I was able to have a team. We did over $10,000 a month when I was doing my MLM with iMarkets Live. And as you guys can see, that allowed me to get into the entrepreneurship and business world and learn sales. I've been able to travel all around the world by generating more revenue for myself outside of going to work for somebody else and generating them a lot of revenue. But who I really am, I'm Dr. Travis Davis, and I'm here to tell you about the power of federal government contracting. A little bit about me: I was part of a winning team that managed the help desk of Affordable Care Act at the age of 24. Most of you guys probably know it as Obamacare. I was a subcontractor to that, and I decided to just do it. But just doing it, I did over $1 million by the age of 25. And I say it like that because I don't want you guys to have the fear of saying, hey, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to get started at. I'm telling you, the one thing that you need to do is just get started. Okay, that is the biggest principle of this thing here. Now I want to share my knowledge and experience with you, a group of eager business owners, specifically the minority business owner community, that are ready to take their business and their finances to the moon. I'm just a young black male that's getting it in this professional business world, and I want you to get it the exact same way. Now, here's some opportunities that we've been able to win, again, without having any previous education on running business or the money to do it either. We've been able to do $4.4 million. This is, well, one contract. Here's a couple contracts that I just posted. This is our $4.4 million contract here. There's another one for $1.6 million. Kind of rounded up to 1.7, but I actually don't like rounding up real money. I may do it in any other thing, but when it comes to real money, I can't round something up that I don't have. So I always like to round down. So 1.6 is what we got right there. Then I got this $150,000 contract. This was just a couple month projects that we did right there. And this other one that I got circled right there was for $19,000 over 4 months. And I circled it because we only had to work 2 hours a month on this project. So it was pretty dope to generate that type of revenue without doing any real major labor work like the system taught me. I quickly realized that using my mind instead of using my hands generates me 10 times more revenue. And I started doing what I call making money off of OPT, other people's time. The same way that your boss puts you to work, I decided to start putting other people to work too. And I'll just give them some of the profit that I make. And what do you know? It's called payroll. I say it that easy because I needed to just hear it that easy in order to get started. No, I did not know how to run payroll. No, I did not know how to manage employees. I didn't know about taxes. I didn't know about sales. I didn't know about any of this stuff. I just got started and I learned as I grew. I made a lot of mistakes, a ton of costly mistakes, but the beauty about the mistakes that I made a whole lot of money before the mistakes started costing me. And guess what? I had the money to fix it. So I'm telling you that so you don't stop yourself from moving forward and understanding it's okay to make mistakes. But we will have the finances to go back and fix those things because mistakes don't pop up until you start making money. Now, at the end of this presentation, I'll have something special for each and every one of you guys to take advantage of. It's going to cost you more than an iPhone, but I promise you it'll cost you less than a Tesla. Now look, I don't expect you to take my word for how great this opportunity I'm about to share with you is. So I'm just going to show you how I get down. Follow my core principles to winning government contracts, and you too will be winning just like me. The first thing is you need to stay STD free. Yes, stay STD free. You need to cheat. You need to read. I cannot stress that enough. You must read. Then you need to cheat again. And you need to say F you, submit, F you, and then repeat this entire process. If you take those steps, I promise you cannot go wrong. If you go wrong, then that means that I did something wrong. And I don't never mess up like that. Let me say this again. What you will learn from me today comes from my experience, not anyone's opinions or their emotions about this. To stay STD free, I call that shit to do. Examples. How many of you guys who are watching this are going to be watching this on replay? I want you to put it in the comment section. How many of you guys have been stuck listening to graphics, watching videos, or reading books about investing, law, marketing, writing, how to run social media and market correctly, how to make YouTube videos, SEO? I mean, I could go down the list of things that we're looking at each and every day to figure out how to do to become a better employee, business owner, or just a person, period. Well, I call that shit to do. Now, how many of you in the audience in the last 45 days have taken more than 2 hours looking at those training videos, the graphics, the marketing, the investing, the law, the social media, and haven't done absolutely anything with the information that you've looked at? It's okay to admit the truth. That used to be me until I realized I'm doing a lot of damage to myself by continuing to give myself STDs. That's what I call a STD. You're wasting valuable time studying things that don't make you money versus doing the things that do make you money. Now, STDs slow everybody down that I've seen, whether it's the real one or it's this one that I just made up. And we always want to avoid both of them. So I promise you, if you keep that in the back of your mind and you start sitting on that couch and you tell yourself, I can't catch a STD, it should get you up off that couch so you can start producing something with your time. But you have all the time in the world. It's how you manage your time is going to be the impact on how you win government contracts. To stay STD free, you must know what your freedom number is and what date you'd like to hit that freedom number. Now, what is a freedom number? I call it your GPS. It's essentially how much does your vision cost and how soon would you like to obtain it? And a lot of people have done vision boards, which I love the vision board parties, but they always forget something. They put the boat, the house, the picket fence, the dog, and all of that stuff, kids, you name it. But they forget to say how much it costs. Like the house had a price, the car had a price, the dog and the kids. We can make all of this stuff up and understand how much that vision costs. But the other key is, when do you want to obtain that vision? Is it 10 years from now, 20, 30 years from now? Because money starts making an impact the more years that you go out. The closer you get, the more work that we got to do for that vision. If you tell me you got a $1 billion vision, the odds are you ain't going to hit it. We should bring this down to something more realistic. You ain't never seen anybody in the history of your life around you make $1 billion. So the odds of you making $1 billion is going to be pretty damn slim to none. But the odds of you making a couple million in your life real soon can be very good, because there's a lot of millionaires directly around you in your community that you can start networking with immediately if you make a real GPS for yourself, a real freedom number. Now, I just combine this kind of like if I told you to come to DC and meet me here. If I told you to meet me in DC, everybody, or asked you, could you meet me in DC? Everybody would say, yeah, I can meet you in DC. But I would counter that and say, hey, I didn't tell you an address where to meet me at in DC, nor did I tell you a time when to meet me in DC. So you're just going to be circling around and you're probably never, ever going to run into me. Although DC is small, it's real big when you don't know where I'm at. Same thing happens with your vision. Don't nobody know where it's at? including you, because you never wrote it down and understood that freedom number. When this freedom number is down on paper, you're going to understand we ain't got time to waste, and I ain't going to give myself an STD. Once you start doing that and understand you don't want to go down that route, you need to start the process of cheating. Yes, cheat. Cheating is a special art that's only frowned upon in the school system. But in the real business world, I promise you guys, in the real business world, the best cheater wins. If you don't believe me, just look at the Fortune 500. That's all they do is cheat. To become the best cheater, you must start with the research first. That's why I'm taking you down this journey of how I do government contracting. I'm starting with the research. The two sites that I use are fpds.gov and usaspending.gov. They're going to look a little something like this when you go ahead and get on them. They're free, as well as I'm going to make a note, always stay on .gov sites when we're talking about government information. The government ain't got no .org and the government ain't got no .com. They got .gov websites. If you on a .com website, chances are you on a for-profit businesses website and they about to make a profit up off you, okay? Now, these two sites allow you to see already awarded contracts from previous years. Who better to cheat off than the millionaires already winning your millions with the customers that's already spending your millions? Now, this is kind of what FPDS is going to look like and why I'm telling you to cheat. You see that it will provide the NAICS code. So those of you that used the AI tool to find your NAICS code, well, you can find more of your NAICS codes by doing the research. We're going to figure out what our NAICS code is. We're going to figure out what the agency is, which you can see right down here. What agency is spending all of our money, which is right here. And we can see when those contracts that they just signed are going to come up for renewal. And it's just like any other sports contract. The player's contract got to get renewed. Well, this work right here has got to get renewed too. And it's going to usually be on like 5-year contracts. It'll be one guaranteed with 4 option years, really depending on the size of the contract. Some can go longer, some can go shorter. But the moral is the information is right here. You can also see the incumbent who won previously, and that is who we're going to cheat off of. Why would you cheat off of anybody else? I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. Yes, I do great in government contracting already, but if I'm not winning your contracts for what you do, like, why would you cheat off of me? Like, it just don't make sense. Take your time and do the research and cheat off the people who are literally winning the millions from the people that got your millions. Probably you could see something in the description about the opportunity, but I don't want to say all the time that they will put the descriptions, information that they'll fill it out to the T. They're just not always the best at that. But sometimes it's good. Now, I do a thing called Cheat 25. I need you to compile a list of 25 previously awarded contracts in your niche. Now, guys, before I get any further, I have to stress, I'm trying to help you guys build wealth. I'm not trying to help you win contracts. Anybody can win a contract. A fool can win a contract. So what I mean by that is a fool can go win a contract to sell tape to the government. Yes, the government buys tape. But is selling tape to the government going to keep you in this game? Is it going to help put food on the table for your family forever? I think not. That's why I said a fool would say that you don't got to read so you could just sell tape to the government. That is true. But if you truly want to build wealth that you could pass down to your kids, you need to learn these strategies and these techniques to build wealth that's going to have longevity. So if you compile the 25 previously awarded contracts in your niche, you're going to be able to build that longevity. And we can go back in and win those tape contracts. That's not going to be something hard to do. You're going to gather the following information. What are the top agencies spending your money? What are the top businesses making your money? And what are the NAICS codes that those businesses are utilizing for those contracts to get purchased from the people that got that money? Because they're not going to change the NAICS codes based off your feelings. They're telling you this is the NAICS codes that we purchase your products or services under, so you should adapt. And it's not all of the government doesn't always use the same NAICS code. So it's important we understand which customer in the government is using that NAICS code. The words that the millionaire business owners use to sell to the $1 million purchasers. That is the most important piece of the Cheat 25. How are they selling the products and services? What are the words that are coming out their mouth? Because if you use the definitions that you went to school with or that your community taught you, odds are you're going to lose the opportunity because you don't know how to talk in a way that the person that got the money that you want, that they understand. It don't matter how I understand it. I ain't got your money. We need to figure out how the people with the money understand what cybersecurity means, understands what tech support or help desk means, understand what construction means. Everybody didn't go to the same school. Now, once you can cheat, you must read. Now it's time to go over and register your business in SAM.gov. I want you to be sure to read every step carefully as it will walk you through it entirely. You don't need to pay anybody to do this. Make sure to make your company look and sound like the multi-million-dollar companies we're cheating off of. It's just that simple. I'm pretty sure you guys heard the fake it till you make it. Well, that's what we're about to do right here. Here's what SAM.govs look like. You can go ahead and sign in right there. For those of you who haven't created your account, you're going to go ahead and click that Get Started tab and follow instructions. All of our contracts, this is where we're going to go. This is only a small percentage of government contracts that come out on SAM.gov. Now I want you to go to SAM.gov and look under the Contract Opportunities tab that I showed you. These are live contract opportunities that are ready to be bid on. I want you to compile a list of the opportunities you want to go after and put them on what we now call a pipeline, which is just a list of all the opportunities that you would like to pursue. Your pipeline should eventually be 10 times more than what your freedom number is. If you don't know your freedom number, you won't understand why we waking up every day and why we staying up all night long trying to obtain these contracts. It just won't make sense to you. But when you know your freedom number and you see that this customer has 10 times more than what your freedom number is, you'll understand that the odds of me hitting my freedom number are pretty damn good if I go 10 times more, because I'm not going to win everything. But if I win 10% of what my freedom number is that I projected, I'm going to be free. If you 10x your freedom number and win 10% of that, this is why we utilize that strategy right there. Every opportunity, which is called a solicitation, has attached documents to it. It's called the RFP or RFQ. In those documents, you're going to see a segment called the SOW, Statement of Work. That explains what you need to do for this contract. So every time somebody tells me I need help with government contracting, I'm telling you, you just don't make sense, because I need to read the contract myself to understand what needs to go on. There's no one cookie cutter fits all answer for this. Every single thing that you need will be sitting in that document. Once you start reading the RFP or the RFQ, you must read it once in its entirety. Do not take a mark on it. Do not look up words, just read it. Once you read the whole thing, then you're going to read it again. And some of these things get really long, by the way. The second time you start reading it, you're going to go ahead and make some marks on it to words that you don't understand, and contractual binding words you're going to go ahead and highlight, okay? The third time you read it, now is when we're going to start to soak in this information and get a real understanding of what's sitting in front of our face. The reason that we're going to go through it like this is because it has all the problems to the test. If you don't know what's in there, can't nobody help you, because again, there is no cookie cutter answer to this test without knowing the problems. We already know where to get the answers from once we find the problems, because after we get done reading, we're going to get back to cheating. Now that we know what we want to go after, and we know who has already performed these services, whether it's a product or a service, First, we make ourselves look like the winners using the same verbiage as the winners on all of our marketing material, our capability statements, our website, our business cards. We gonna look like this money, especially if we about to go approach the money. Then we go to market our business out in the streets. You're gonna contact the OSDBU of the agency that got your money. Every agency has an OSDBU. Then you're going to market your business to the large primes that were winning your money, because those large primes, they're just like the government. They got a set aside responsibility that they must work with small businesses too. So we're going to market to the large primes that also work and do the type things that we do, and work in the agency that got our money, because we just want to pay attention to our money, where it's at. Build all the relationships up in there. Talking to them only about the pipeline. I'm not going to stress that again. You must only talk to these people about the opportunities on the pipeline. And here's a kicker. Don't nobody care about your story. The internet may care about your story. These coaches on Instagram may sell you the dream of you tell your story, you get the sales. That is true for the internet, and running funnels and getting people to buy into your content. Again, that's true for business to consumer. I'm letting you know, and I can't stress this enough, B to G and B to B, not one damn person care about your story. What they care about is dollars that make sense. If the dollars don't make sense, they're going to pluck you out the way. If you come with your sob story, they're going to pluck you out the way. So we're going to cancel the story, and instead we're going to come with the pipeline of how we can help them make more money. I'm telling you, it'll be real simple if you pay attention that way, because I've never met a multi-million-dollar company that don't want to make more millions. But I've damn sure met a couple people that make $5,000 that's too scared to jump up out there and make a lot of money fast because they don't know how. But them people that make a lot of money, they don't have time to listen to the stories and excuses of why you can't move forward. Now, once you do that, the FU comes into play. The FU is your money. This is the number one reason why people don't succeed. It's because they don't follow up. This is one of the most important steps. Even when you think you may be being annoying, I need you to follow up. While you're in the street shaking hands and kissing babies, it's very important that you listen for keywords that you can use in your follow-up email you'll send to them after you talk to them, thanking them for speaking with you. Then you keep following up and treating them like a human, not asking them for things that you already know that they got. We already did our research. We know they got the opportunity right there. We know that that company can provide the resources that we need to obtain that contract. We already know that. So do they. So you need to start building a relationship with people like people, and you'll get a whole lot further. Once you do the FU and you get all your resources together, you submit. As the due date approaches from the solicitation, you must submit on time. They're not going to make any favors for you. The solicitation will tell you exactly how to submit and how they will be scoring your submittal. Whatever you lack on paper, make it work on paper before you submit it. So that's the other kicker. You will know if you're in position to win that contract or not if you just look at the scoring factor and pay attention to the statement of work. Statement of work is first. If you can't provide what they're asking for on the statement of work, then you can't win it. If you give yourself enough time, you can build the relationships with teammates and joint ventures or whatever is needed. Because what did I tell you? What you lack on paper, give yourself enough time, you can go get. Those companies you cheated off can be your partners, or you can take it on yourself. That's called a prime contractor. The government only works with prime contractors. That means you're responsible for the whole thing. Those companies you cheated off could be your subcontractor. Or you could flip it. They could be the prime contractor and you could be the subcontractor. Or if you really don't feel in your gut that I can approach this company and build a relationship with it, I could be a subcontractor, and you need money right now, you don't have time to wait for your money to get awarded through subcontracting work, because I'm not about to pay you right now to be a teammate of a subcontractor to me. I'm going to pay you after the government pays me for the awarded contract. So you go and go down the totem pole. When I invoice and get paid for the government is when you get paid as a subcontractor. That generates you more revenue than this other way I'm about to tell you on just that one contract. But consulting, guys, I love consulting. I consult over 28 companies. We've done over $150 million, not me, those companies. I got a pretty nice percentage of it though. So what I'm trying to advise to you guys is you could utilize that strategy to get money in your pocket right now, help you build your what we call NIL, name, image, and likeness. They paid me to get out in the street, shake hands, and kiss babies. And guess what happened? As I helped their company grow and scale, the same customers that bought from me when I said I was starting my own thing, what did they do? Buy from me, because they have been buying from me for years as a consultant. This is the reason why I advise you guys, as you learn this government contracting information, I promise you, in your local area right now, it probably 80% of the local businesses ain't doing government contracting. You can immediately go consult to them. If we get on a state level, it's the same situation. You can make great revenue consulting and learn this space a whole lot better. Now, again, you won't make the most money there, but you can make some good money there. Once you do that, we're still at the FU. Once you have the bid submitted, it's time to mark the date on your calendar and be sure to follow up with the partners, the vendors, and the government if you were the prime. If you're not the prime, you're not going to follow up with that government. They don't want to talk to you. They only want to talk to the prime. I say in about 2 weeks, but it should tell you when they're going to award the contract. If they don't tell you for some reason when they're going to award it, like, stay on top of them. And the minute that they tell, and I hate to say the word lose because you don't have the contract. I should figure out something else to say. But when they say you're not awarded the opportunity, the solicitation, you ask for a debrief. And here's the kicker. If you listen to Build Your Pipeline, like I told you, and focused on the agency that has your money, the minute that they tell you that you did not get awarded this solicitation, you go in the debrief and ask why. They're now telling you how to get awarded for the rest of the solicitations. And you keep going back at them, keep going back at them. And then eventually it's going to pop. And then you just wash, rinse, and repeat. The same system like I told you. Now here's the idea of the type of money that's being spent with government contracting. As a small business, they got 23% of the federal budget set aside for all small businesses. Every single one of them. 23% is set aside. In 2016, that budget was $99.7 billion. In 2020, that budget was $145 billion. Here in 2023, it's, I believe, over 130. But you guys can always go to usaspending.gov and it'll tell you this information. Now, in those small businesses, this is where the women-owned small businesses come. The Native American, HUBs-owned, service-disabled, veteran-owned businesses, they all got a percentage in the federal budget too. And I seen some smart person. I love when smart people try to comment under my stuff because earlier when I did this webinar, I said 23% goes to small businesses, 5% of the total budget goes to women-owned businesses. They tried to say, no, that's 5% of the small business total. Now, I'm not the smartest person in math, but I don't really care if they break it down to 23% small business. 5% of women-owned businesses is the total budget, period. It doesn't matter if it comes out of the total 23% budget. 5% of the budget is set aside for women-owned businesses. 3% is set aside for veterans, another 3% for veteran-owned, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And in total, it goes up to 23% of all small businesses when you combine all of those together. Now, in order to get those, you got to be what we call certified. You cannot self-proclaim yourself to be a women-owned business. You got to get the certification. Now, it's not hard to do it. You just got to gather your paperwork and have your stuff in order. Have all of your IRS documents, etc. You can pay people to do this, but at the end of the day, they're going to be asking you for the same forms. So if you are going to put the forms together and give to them, you could just honestly put it together for yourself, save it, and trust me, every certification is going to ask for all of the same paperwork. So figure it out, stay organized, and you could just start getting all the certifications that you can possible. Again, they don't help you. Well, they help you strategically win contracts, but they're not going to win you a contract just because you got a certification. Now, I want you guys to put a me in the comment or raise your hand, no matter if you're watching this now or on replay, and let me know how many of you guys are ready to stop giving yourself STDs, you're ready to cheat, and you're ready to knock out your financial freedom number, winning government contracts, and reminding yourself to F you daily. Now let's work. You guys should have had your NAICS code in the agency. I want you to put your NAICS code in the agency that has your money in the chat, wherever you're at, because that's how you're going to network. I'm trying to tell you the easiest way for you to network. If other people got your NAICS code, odds are y'all are got the same synergy. Y'all should probably be communicating. So that's your opportunity to network. It's on you. Let me show you what I've created for this whole strategy that I have of my cheating and FU. So what we have here, let me change my screen, is I realized is a lot of people struggle with this thing. Okay. A lot of people struggle because they don't have the systems in place to run a business. The government doesn't build your business. They reimburse you for you providing the work or the product, right? They don't pay you up front. So with that, they can't build your business. You got to have all the business together. And a lot of businesses that I've come across, they don't have the proper infrastructure. They have no systems in place. So I created something called SB Money Flow. Inside of SB Money Flow, you can build your websites, funnels, it's your CRM, it's your social media management tool. I mean, it really does everything you need. Your calendar for appointments, the whole nine. You can get rid of all of your other softwares and just use what we created with SB Money Flow. But one thing that we created right here is the new contract information. Now, as I told you, people struggle to stay organized. Well, I'm helping you guys out here. As SAM.gov is not always where all the opportunities are at. You may come across different platforms, and we need to stay in a situation that everybody can see everything, including ourselves. So what'll end up happening is you build this website here, and I can always remember it because I know it's sbgovconlive.com/new money. I can always get to this form. No matter where I'm at in the streets, all I need is my cell phone and some Wi-Fi. This is where I would take the opportunity and put the point of contact's name. So this could be the contract officer. So I put Tiffany Maker. Okay, that's Tiffany. And then we're going to put tiff@gmail.com. All right. And then we're going to put test solicitation number 12 something something. And we're going to put a NAICS code. And what was the date the opportunity was posted, we'll put there. The response date of when it's due, we'll put that there. The agency, we'll put it at CMS. The estimated value of the opportunity, we're going to go ahead and put that there. We're going to put the title. We'll call it Help Desk CMS. All right. So we can understand what that thing is. We're going to put the link to the solicitation. Hopefully it's sam.gov. Wherever you find it at, you put the link there. And the solicitation description, you would actually take all of the statement of work, but you know, if you want to type it out, go ahead and blah, blah, blah. And then we'll say what type of contract it is. It's a RFP, request for proposal. And then we're going to put the attachments right in here, and we'll put any notes. Say we have a team, needs to be assigned to BD because we want to go after this thing. So once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and hit submit. It lets me know the new contract information has been signed or sent. I just got a message on my phone that lets me know that we got a new contract opportunity in the pipeline. Now, another thing that we did was I said, hey, we're always looking for subcontractors. We're supposed to be out there shaking hands and kissing babies, but my people suck with following up. I mean, they're god awful with it, including myself when I got started. My follow-up game was trash. The more people you talk to, the harder the follow-up gets. And it was because I wasn't organized. I had no systems. So same thing. I have a website that I created inside of SB Money Flow. I remember the link. It's SBGovCon online, whatever, /NC, new contact. So what I would do as I'm meeting people, okay, I'm going to go, this is Tracy, okay, Givens. Her email is tg@hotmail.com. I don't know why Hotmail came in my mind. I'm going to go ahead and put her phone number right there. All right. We're going to put real estate as her industry. I contacted her on the 2nd. When do I need to F her? F you. I need to F her on the 10th. Now I got to follow up with Tracy. The NAICS code, the website, Tracy's information, whatever value that I think Tracy is going to bring to what I got going on, because I should be talking to Tracy about my pipeline. So I know the value that Tracy got right there. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there. I'm going to make a note of, like, this is going to help me remember what me and Tracy was talking about, the title. So I'm going to use specific words that we had a conversation about. So whatever, big money, I don't know, maybe we said that. If you got attachments, you would put it there. The internal notes. This is where you should make any keywords that was being used in that conversation. I mean, any keywords that she said, not you. Okay. What words did they use? I'm making a note of all of that. And then I'm typing it right here. I'm going to go ahead, submit this. And now what happens, I could come back, add another contact if needed. But now I'm going to go over to my dashboard inside of Small Business Money Flow. Come on, dashboard. Okay, now that I look at my dashboard, I see that we have an opportunity that I need to look at. And if you got a team inside of here, it's even better. You could actually just pay some researchers cheap money and just go load you up with opportunities so you can make a decision. Now that I'm here, I see we got a new hopper. A new opportunity in the hopper is worth $1 million. If I come over here and look at my network, okay, I see that we got a new contact that was put in there. She's worth $400,000. So then I can go take a look at these opportunities and I can say, okay, well, let me take a clean look at what's going on over here. So here's my pipeline right here. This is the solicitation. I can understand this with Tiffany Maker. We got all our contact. This is the title, the solicitation number, the subject of the opportunity. It's in the new stage. So I'm like, okay, well, you know, after taking a quick look at this, this is something else that I want to pursue. So I would take this and put this over to review because we need to review this thing. Okay, I need to take it to my team. I need to sit down and dissect it more. As you can see, it went over into the review section. You can slide this as well. You don't need to click it there. But the moral is you can now track everything. If it's in progress, it's ready to go. If you submit it, that means you hit that bid. So now when I ask you how much is your pipeline, you can tell me that I got a $10 million pipeline and I can say how much have you submitted, and you can come and say, well, we've only submitted $2 million to a $10 million pipeline. I know exactly where you at right now. But when you don't have this type of stuff in order, it makes it extremely hard for people who are doing big things in this space to really understand what you're talking about sometimes. So I want to get everybody up to speed, and the software is what takes you to the next level. Now, eventually, you're going to have a list over here of things that won and things that lost, as well as opportunities you don't respond to. And what's going to happen is you'll be able to pass this data off to somebody else. It's called your employees, your team. And what you're going to do is you'll be able to see the type of opportunities you don't want to go after because all the data will be here. You'll see the type of opportunities that your customer does like about you because you'll see what's winning. And then you'll see and understand exactly why you're losing. Because as you go to these opportunities, guess what? We're going to come right here to this section and we're going to keep notes. Every time we talk about this opportunity, we're going to type this new note in here. And this is for you to come up with how you need to track your notes. We're going to add the note. If I need to meet with somebody about this opportunity, I come right here and I say book, update, or appointment. And if I had a calendar attached, this is a demo account, but if I had my calendar attached, I could book the appointment. It could send them an email, the whole nine. If I needed a task with a teammate, I could go right here and I could say, hey, I need my assistant to find a sub, right? And then I could come down here and say, hey, I need you to find a subcontractor that's blah, blah, blah. I could assign it to her and I can say the due date for this to be done is by Monday and add the task. And now she gets an alert and message, I get a message, and we could all stay updated about what's going on. This is how we're going to start to flow this thing. Same thing with my contact. If I change this over here and go to my FU network, okay, and I look at the contact that I just added here, Tracy, well, I can do the exact same stuff. I can label my titles right here. Maybe you want to label it to something else, but I can need to follow up, waiting for a response, and it's a partner. I move it over here. Now I got my resource list. I don't have to guess and scramble around looking for people. It's all right here. The data lies here. Now here comes the other beauty about this. When you're talking about your opportunities right here, say I need to talk to that contract officer that I label right here. All you got to do is click this tab right here. It's going to take you over to the conversation area. And guess what? I can send an email or a text message. If I had the phone number, I could send a text message. That's more important for the business to business side relationships, texting. I usually ain't gonna recommend you text the government, so we're gonna go ahead and email them. You're gonna put the subject here, and I'm gonna type out everything that I want. I hope Tiffany at Gmail don't really have an email. That'd be funny. Now look what happens. I can stay ahead of the conversation. So no matter if it's me talking or somebody from my team talking to the customer, I can always click on Tiffany's profile and I can see the last message that we talked about, whether it was a text message or email. Now, the power of doing this with your actual contract is everything stays updated. The other power of doing this with these new contacts that you are going to be shaking hands and kissing babies with is your follow-up game is going to be wicked. Because you're going to be the individual that always remembers the words of every previous conversation. They're going to think that your mental capacity is on the next level. In all honesty, we just came into our CRM system and we understood that the tool is doing all the work. We just had to scroll a little bit. So I've alleviated all of those factors that are stopping us from generating a lot of wealth in this industry. Those are the main two problems. Okay? Now, we also have a marketplace inside of this tool. You can come right down here to the government marketplace. You can come down here, search by your NAICS code, whatever your NAICS code is, 541519. All right, let's put that in right there, hit search. And then what do you know? You find all of your opportunities. We can go ahead and hit refine. We can do due date. In the next 90 days, click apply, and we can say, hey, we only want to look for federal opportunities. And I'm going to go ahead and click federal right there. And then we're going to go ahead, apply again, and boom. And now we can go ahead and just look, click open an opportunity. See what it's talking about, fill out your whole CRM thing that we got right there. So imagine you could pay a VA, a couple $100. They could go through all of the opportunities, fill out your pipeline, and you can start making bid, no bid decisions immediately. So the government marketplace is there, as well as we're going to be putting more links to more government marketplaces that you can find contract opportunities so you don't have to keep jumping around all of these different softwares. Now, the last beauty about this software, I'm trying to get you guys out of here in an hour, and I think I may be able to make it, is a lot of you guys struggle with running ads. I'm just going to be straight up and honest. A lot of you guys don't know what to do. So we've actually built in here a very simple, easy way that you can run ads. I actually got to go to my live account and not the demo account. And we have a section called running ads right here. And you can make it very, very simple for you to run ads. Literally, all you got to do is click a button, launch the campaign. And we got a couple different categories here. We're still adding more. If for some reason we don't have your niche category, just send us an email and we'll make you a couple ad templates to where all you got to do is click the button, childcare. And look, we got it all laid out for you. You got the title. If you want to make a couple changes and tweaks to fit your brand, you will go ahead and do this. But if you've built out SB Money Flow, we've already got it to change to your business name. So whatever your business name is for your childcare system, if you were using this software for childcare, it would just plug in your name to literally, all you got to do is choose the template that you want, click the button and run the ads. Because we want to hurry up and get you guys in front of people, showing you guys how to generate these leads because we're going to build you a business. Businesses generate money from government, people, and other businesses. That's how a correct business keeps its doors open. So our goal is to do this with SB Money Flow. You can build your websites right here. So if you come right here, you can build all your websites, do all of your email marketing, the whole nine. Everything that you need is sitting right inside of this one tool. Now, let's get back over here to the presentation.
These things different.
Hold on. See, we got somebody. Let me put you on mute.
Okay. First of all, let's talk about.
Oh, man. All right, cool. Glad we got that straight. All right, now I'm going to open the floor up for Q&A. Go ahead and get your messages in Zoom. I'm going to give you a second. In just a second, you can open your mic up and ask the question. But I do want to introduce you guys to the opportunity that I have available for you. Now, here with GovCon Cheat Codes, you're going to get access to our GovCon Cheat Codes University, okay? In our GovCon Cheat Codes University is going to look a little something like this. Let me go back to my courses. And what we've done is we've taught way more with government contracting. I mean, everything that you need to know about government contracting, trust me, I've pretty much made a video about it and broke it down. If it's something that we haven't made a video about, just like I said on the other thing, you send us a message, guess what? I'm going to make a video about it, which is my favorite section right here. It's the master classes. So all of the other outside questions, how do I prospect for contracts? I made a video. How do I set up SAM? I made it. How do I convince somebody to put me on their team? I made the video. How do I competitively respond to sources sought? I made the video. How should my accounting system be? How do I know my pricing correctly? I made these videos. They're all right here. All you got to do is sit down and watch them and then execute on them, not giving yourself STDs. The other beauty about our GovCon University is you're also going to get monthly Zoom calls. Once a month, the last Monday of every month, I'm going to get on a call not to teach you government contracting because I've already done this back here, but to answer your exact questions that you're stumbling on so you can keep proceeding forward. So you're going to get access to all of this with the GovCon University GSA schedules, other useful links when it comes to getting all of your certifications. You can click here and find all of that information. It's all located in your back office. And you're going to get access to my Google Drive that got tons and tons and tons of templates, scripts to talk to people. I mean, you name it, it's in there inside of that Google Drive, okay? The other thing that you're going to get when you take advantage of our special that we have to you today, and I'll show that, is access for 6 months to our Black Cheat Codes, which is our AI tool for GovCon. Now, you guys got a taste of it by utilizing the Find My Money feature for those of you that signed up for the webinar, but there's way more to it, okay? We can help you with writing your capability statement, your statement of works, your business plans, your proposal writing. We did define your money. For those of you who don't know how to talk and network correctly, all you got to do is come in this tool and tell me where you're about to go talk at. And I've set this bad boy up to tell you what questions you need to be asking at that networking event. So you can now look like the bright superstar. And all we're going to do is ask questions, shut up and listen. And look for those keywords. A SWOT analysis, we can do that. You can Google what SWOT is, strength, weakness, opportunities, and Man, I always forget the damn T. Whatever. And your joint venture agreement. Okay, we got all of this inside of the blackcheatcode.ai. You're going to get access to that for 6 months. Okay. Also, you're going to get access to the next 3-day federal government contracting challenge. I promise you in 3 days, I'll teach you everything that you need to know about government contracting to submit an opportunity. This next challenge starts on October the 9th. I'm live for 3 days straight. I also give you daily challenges that look just like this, and you're going to need to execute on those. And then we're going to talk about it on those live 3 days. So you're going to get access to all of that when you take advantage of our stuff here. You're not going to get Law AI. I'm not quite done finished with that yet. But these 3 you will be able to get full access to. Now, let me jump back over here so I can let you guys know what that special looks like. Now, for all of that, it's going to cost $19.97. The GovCon Cheat Codes University, all of the courses that I got back there that you'll keep access to for 3 months. For $19.97, you will get access to that. But if you keep staying, I got another special for you. Now, again, you're going to get access to the Black Cheat Code AI for 6 months. You're going to get access to our business intensive. What I realized, a lot of people are failing in government contracting because you really need a blueprint. So when you guys get registered today, you're going to go through a brief questionnaire, and then we're going to hop on the line with you for 2 hours. We're going to dissect everything about your business, and we're going to put a plan together to build a business, not just government contracting. After we get off the call that 2 hours, myself and my team, we're going to sit down, put together the entire plan, then jump back on a call with you and break down the entire report and game plan of what you need to do moving forward, from every tool that you need to every type of product or service that you should set up. So you're going to be able to take advantage of that as well. I promise you with this report, you could just go do the work yourself, or you're going to be able to utilize our team to help you out with that. And once again, you're going to get access for $19.97 to the GovCon Cheat Codes University, the full term for 3 months. You're going to get GovCon Cheat Code AI for 6 months. You're going to get access to our community that has well over 5,000 minority business owners, over 50,000 on our email list. October 9th, access to the 3-day government contracting challenge, and you're going to get access to a 2-hour GovCon business intensive by joining that for $19.97 today. Now, I told you I have another surprise for you guys. If you can't do the $19.97, I completely understand. If you also don't need all of the government information, you just need more of that blueprint, I've set another special up for you. If you visit Pure Money Special, the same link, puremoneyspecial.com, and you just want to get this business intensive, we have it for $9.97. And you're also going to get access to the Black Cheat Code for 3 months. So you can make the decision on which one of those you would like to go with. Just visit puremoneyspecial.com. Now, for the last offer that I'm going to give you guys, I completely, once again, understand everybody's not financially there yet. I get it. But the ones that are there, and you want to take advantage of SB Money Flow. Now, I just came up with this morning, so I didn't have all of this drawn out in the presentation, nor did I work all the configuration out. So if you do purchase SB Money Flow, once again, go to sbmoneyflow.com. You come here to pricing, change this tab to annually, and you pay for the software for a year. That's what you're paying for, the entire software for 1 year. If you pay for it for a year at $35.64, I'll throw in all of that other stuff that I talked about, because it's more important to me that you get this software so I can help you build your business, to me, than just learning government contracting information. So if you can take advantage of that, I'll give you all that other stuff for free. All right? I'll include it. If you decide to go and take this option, I need you to send me an email or a message or something and say, hey, Travis, I took advantage of the premium plan. I need you to load my account up. because I didn't program this in. I told you I just woke up and thought about it, of how I could best help you guys. So if that's you, go to sbmoneyflow.com, get the premium plan. My team is going to help you set your entire system up so you don't have to worry about that. We got a whole bunch of things, features there that's going to help you grow your business. Get that, send me that message. In about 24 hours, we'll make sure that you get access to all of the other government contracting information that I did offer to you there. Now, before we get up out of here, I am going to open this up for Q&A, okay? But make sure that you guys are following me on YouTube. You could scan that QR code that we got right there at the bottom of the screen. Make sure you're following me on IG. I'm telling you, YouTube has a bunch of training information on there to teach you government contracting and business. IG is where I keep you guys updated. Everything in my stories on IG, that'll let you know what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, how I'm doing it. So make sure that you guys take advantage of following the IG account. You can scan that QR code once again to take advantage of that. The other thing that you guys can do right here, if you want to take advantage of the specials that we had, you can go ahead for the Pure Money special. Once again, this is not the Small Business Money Flow. If you want to take advantage of any of those Pure Money specials, by all means, you can scan that QR code right there and it'll take you over to it. Outside of that, I'm going to open this up for questions. I will read the comments, but I do want to give the people on Zoom first dibs that if you do have any questions, feel free to unmute your mic if you would like, or you could type it in the comments, but it'd probably be better to unmute, and I can answer those questions for you all. Are there any questions on Zoom? Oh, going once. Zoom going once. Zoom going twice. All right. We have no questions on Zoom. So let me see if I got any questions here on the YouTube. Let me see. Don't reinvent the wheel. Come on, Candace. You know what it is. Shout outs to my guy, Trey, man. If you guys ever heard the Pure Money song in our videos, shout outs to Trey. He's the one who made the Pure Money song. We're extremely appreciative of you, Trey. Thank you for that. How do I find business to consult? Great question. I like to follow the money first. If you follow the money, you'll be able to find the businesses, right? And what I mean by that is find the problem. The problem is the contract. The money takes you to the contracts. So, for instance, like the infrastructure bill, right? There's new money. That new money for infrastructure has got to go to some agency inside of some department. Once you could follow that money to the agency or the department, you can find out, which client, which services or products they need to obtain. Now that I know the problem that they have, right, they're lacking products or services, they need them obtained, I can now figure out what companies I should be going to go look at. It's just that simple. Now you won't be guessing like, who should I consult to? Well, you should consult to a real estate company. And now it becomes which real estate company. That one, I can't answer that without sitting down and, coming up with a strategic game plan, but that's the best way to figure out who to consult to, because you'll have all the data for being a real estate agent. So what's the odds of them telling you no? You gave a strategy to get the best price when choosing manufacturers by finding other companies that are partnering with them. How do you look for companies? You gave a strategy to get the best price when choosing manufacturers by finding other companies that are partnering with them. How do you look for these companies? The internet. Man, look, guys. You guys are really making this thing more complicated, right? So If I told you to go find me them Deion Sanders tickets to the game, right? I'm pretty sure you guys would know how to get on the internet and go find them Deion Sanders tickets. If I told you to figure out how to get that Birkin bag and somebody will pay for it if you just find it, the special one too, like not the one that you can find in any store. I mean that special Macy's bag, right? I mean Birkin bag. You're going to figure out how to go find that Birkin bag. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So what's the difference here? If you read the opportunity, the beauty about the government is you don't even have to guess what the product is. They tell you right in the solicitation what the product is. You don't have to guess what type of employees or partners you need. It tells you right in the solicitation what type of people you should be looking for. It's that simple. And you will 10x if you read the opportunities. But when you just openly guess and try to put it all together, it never works out. Right? Say, example, you want to buy a Samsung product, but you can't be a vendor because ABC company is already a vendor. How do you use the relationship or work with them to get the good pricing? They usually have a authorized resellers list. You got to go through there. And I always, here, the brand, Pure Money, guys, right? Pure Money. Let me tell you guys, okay? I don't know if you guys are like me, but I was raised on drug movies. Scarface, Training Day, Paid in Full, Frank Lucas. I mean, all of the drug movies I was raised on, right? So I say that because I want to ask you a question. If you was the kingpin, would you just let random ass strangers come up to you and try to sell your work? Or would you have a fear like, man, that stranger probably gonna get my ass locked up. They gonna get me sent to jail because they don't know the processes and procedures of how to sell the work and stay low. They don't get it. Or it could be a detective right there trying to take me down, but I'm not just letting a stranger come up to me for this work. What's the difference when it comes to government contracting? These people you want something from, you said Samsung. Do you know how much money Samsung makes every year? They make drug dealer type money. Well, I said that incorrectly. They don't make drug dealer type money. They make drug supplier type money. You know what I'm saying? They not about to talk to you randomly off the street. That's why they have an authorized resellers list, because they know who they authorize to work their corners. They don't have to guess whether they know the processes or procedures or not. See, this drug game, man, it really plays into this business game too. The movies that you watched, if you didn't look at it for entertainment, you could understand the principles of business. So if I just wouldn't let random people get on my block, and you understand you're a random person, the question goes, how do I get on the block? Well, I got to go through the authorized reseller. In order for Samsung to notice me, I got to sell work first. And since Samsung is a conglomerate that makes stupid money, selling $1 million of their work don't even get them excited. It may get that authorized reseller excited, but it don't get Samsung excited. But since we're working with a customer that's going to be buying a lot, if I sell $10 million, I think I can get off the corner of the authorized reseller, and Samsung now opens the door for me to come sit down at the table with them. The more of what I'm trying to tell you is y'all can't get the best pricing on these products because you ain't sold the drugs yet. Ain't nobody gonna give you the best price on work, and you ain't proved to nobody you know how to sell the work. So you strategically are going to have to figure out, since I'm not going to get the best pricing, I probably can't be that greedy. I probably am only going to make a couple dollars, couple cents on these opportunities because I don't own the opportunities, right? So once we start understanding all of that, I mean, again, this stuff will make a whole lot more sense to you. That would mean that I should probably look for big deals where I can make 10 cents off of. Yeah. Now you're talking about 10 cents, but I'm selling 2 million quantities of it. I don't mind making 10 cents off selling 2 million quantity. You trying to tell me Samsung ain't going to wake up when I sell 2 million of their phones, 2 million of their TVs to the government? Oh, I got their attention and I was only making 10 cents. Well, when they come sit me down at the table, I skipped the corner. I told everybody on the corner, man, hey, yo, y'all can keep playing on the street, but I'm about to go play and hang over here at the real boss table now. And I just cut everybody out the deal. That's the best way to do it. I really can't explain it no other way. How much for mentoring? Honestly, if you don't have contracts, man, I really don't have a direct mentorship. It's just my programs that I have. Inside of my programs, I do help you guys. So once a month, I'm going to be on live. And the reason I don't have the mentorship, guys, is this space ain't like any other space. You got to be willing to read all of the opportunities and, try to figure this stuff out in the beginning, because I'm not going to sit down and read for you. This is way different than me telling you how to post stuff on social media. That's easy. But since I have to read every opportunity, I don't want to take on that mentorship role, because honestly, I don't like reading just like y'all don't like reading. All right.
Press that.
Hey, Michelle, if you don't stop unmuting yourself, I'm going to kick you off this line. I'm just going to let you know one more time. If you unmute yourself again, you going bye-bye. Do you use Dibs and Unison? Okay, she didn't get it. Bye, Michelle.
I'm kicking you.
Okay, try to explain. See, that's people that don't read. All right. Do you use Dibs or Unison for searching for government contracts? Yeah, possibly. I'm not gonna lie to you though, Larry. I'm not particularly in that space no more. When I got started out, yes, I did the Unisons. I did the Dibs. I sold a lot of products to the government, but I honestly, I don't have time to play around with products anymore. As you start generating money in this space and you realize, like, wait a minute, I just figured out how to do this $50,000 in 30 days. Like, I'm not about to sit around and play around no more with $50,000 when I can go do $250,000. Once you do 250, you're going to go at $1 million, $1 million, 2, 4, 4, 8, 8, 16, 16, 32. Like, it wouldn't make sense to keep playing around with Unison. I just don't do that. So all of our projects now, honestly, if it ain't over $2 million, I don't want to do that. And $2 million ain't coming out on Unison. Right? But yes, use it by all means. Can you partner with the reseller and get the Samsung price? I'm not going to keep answering that. Travis, in your expert opinion, is going after government trucking contracts realistically achievable being a small trucking company competing with much larger companies? Absolutely. Everything is achievable. It's strategy, Justin, right? Everything really is definitely in that industry, is going to come down to strategy. So all of the industries, money's already being spent in. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So a lot of times we need to look at like my man Hamza says all the time, the far can take you far. So if you know the rules of how the government must procure products and services, you can find ways to take stuff from people. So let's say, Justin, you're a vet. I don't know. And you see that trucking contracts have been going to white male-owned companies, which all that's going to change now with the new rules. I figured that out. That's interesting. Before, let's say you're a vet and all the contracts were going to white male-owned companies for like the area you wanted to haul stuff in. You could say, hey, that's not fair. That work needs to be shared with other minority-owned businesses, and you're a veteran-owned company, so you're a minority. And now they could partner with you, or you could try to take the lead role and do all the work yourself. So that's a strategy that you could go after. Another strategy that you could look at is, definitely in the trucking business, sometimes we constantly look at federal which is great. But federal is mainly going to be in like your DOD side of the house for trucking. But we forget about our local government and our state government. They need hauling stuff too. And I say that because what you'll really see if you look inside your local government rules, they probably got some rules similar to the federal government as far as mandating a certain percentage needs to go to minority-owned businesses. Your local and state government have rules in there 9 times out of 10 that say a certain percentage need to go to local county-based companies, local state-based companies. So you get that DBE, that MBE, or whatever your local government calls for diversity, you get that certification. And now what you'll really see is only the big boys have been getting those state government contracts and those local government contracts. And they don't even live in the state, like their headquarters ain't even in that state. So now you can really raise your hand and say, hey, look, I looked at the rules of the state for procurement. I looked at the rules for the county government for procurement, and it says that 18% of all opportunities must come to disadvantaged businesses or local county-based businesses first before it can go out of the county. Well, if you're in an industry that 100% of the people who have been doing the work outside of the county, the minute you raise your hand, you win. I mean, honestly, you don't even have to compete. I won a lot of contracts like that through Prince George's County Courthouse. They passed the law for exactly this situation. And I was actually running video cameras in the courthouse at the time. And a lot of stuff was out of order, elevators down. They couldn't get light bulbs from Lowe's because Lowe's is not a county-based company. So once I realized this, man, I just started getting everything from screws to light bulbs. We worked on elevators. We did plumbing. And you may be saying, Travis, like, how the hell did you do that? Well, I made it real simple. I went to my point of contact in the courthouse. They told me what was going on. And I go, damn, well, I could solve that problem for you. We could do all the work. But in order for me to do this work, it's going to cost a little bit more money. Do you think that y'all would have a problem if we raised prices 5 to 10%? Absolutely not. We're aware that pricing is going to get higher. Cool. 10% is my number. So then he gave me a list of all of the people who previously performed this work. I called them all up and said, hey, you guys are never going to win another elevator contract in the county again. Damn sure not in the courthouse, because I'm going to go after everything. But here's the kicker. You can team with me and you can be guaranteed to get every contract that you had before, if not more, because I don't want to do any of that work anyways. But what I do know is you can't get that contract without me. So just like that, they said, you're right. That's the new law. And I go, well, the county is cheap and I got to make some money off of this project. So I need you to lower your prices 10%. They lowered their prices 10%. I started getting emails from the customer. Can you do this? Of course I could do everything. Every time I got an email that came to me, all I could see was 20% profit, 20% profit, 20% profit. And I didn't have to do one single thing. That was cool to put money in my pocket, but that shit gets tiring after a while. It's not enough money in it. What I realized selling these products and doing those mini services, the same energy that it takes me to manage all of these operations, all these little mini projects, and making sure things get delivered, making sure people execute on time, dealing with employees, screwing stuff up all the time. That energy that it took me to make $50,000 in 30 days, it's the same exact energy that I need to win $5 million in 1 year. I'm just telling y'all how it go. And you probably just got to learn that. You got to get a taste of that, because I didn't know that in the beginning. I started understanding that as time started moving on. All right. Do you teach FFP, firm fixed price calculations versus cost reimbursement? I heard someone $600K. I mean, yeah. It's all in the pricing, man. That's yeah. I'm reading this comment. My bad. Yeah, it's all in the pricing. We teach pricing If you understand pricing, it really don't matter if it's firm fixed price or cost reimbursement, because cost reimbursement, of course, you're a little bit more lenient, right? Here's how I can simplify this. Firm fixed price means that that you're taking the risk. Okay, that's why the government usually chooses firm fixed price contracts, because now we take the risk. We got to come in for the exact price because they're not going to give us $1 more. Cost reimbursement, we don't have to come in with the exact price. Instead, they're going to reimburse us for everything that it took for this project. But even then, you still need to know your numbers, and you can't just inflate numbers out there. So I say you need to know your numbers, period, because the same kind of way that my pricing is damn near the same for cost reimbursement as it would be for firm fixed price. The only difference is I know that if I don't calculate 100% correctly on the cost reimbursement, they still going to reimburse me for whatever my cost is. Opposed to firm fixed price, like I need to kind of get my calculations to the T, because I ain't going to make no extra money if I screw up. But regardless, we don't want to screw up, period. So pricing is pricing to me. And yes, that wrap rate is the key. You need to know your wrap rate. That's all of your expenses. This is why people struggle with understanding their prices are. They don't know how much it costs to keep their doors open. They don't know how much the electricity is, how much the rent is, because they're not renting no buildings. They didn't figure out how much it's going to cost for an accountant, a lawyer, your HR department. They didn't put money aside for investing, for healthcare. They don't know those expenses, so they can't create a wrap rate. I mean, I can't explain it any other way. When you don't sit your ass down and understand the expenses of doing business, if you've never paid $3,500 for software before, you don't understand the expenses of keeping the doors open. This is why you can't come up with a wrap rate, because you're too scared to invest in softwares. You're too scared to invest in lawyers, accountants, teams that can help you become better so you can now charge $500,000. You can now win $5 million contracts because you got the infrastructure to do it. And now you will understand, in order to keep this door open and solve these $5 million problems, there's a cost to that. The lawyer, the accountant, the electricity, the laptops, the cell phone. The car, the food, the travel. That all gets calculated into your wrap rate. And then what happens is you take that wrap rate and you put it on top of every single contract. And if you can't win that contract with that wrap rate on top of it, then you shouldn't submit a bid to that contract. Because if you win that contract and the wrap rate said, hey, we need to do it at $5 million and you come in at $3 million when the wrap rate said 5, your ass just lost $2 million. Because it costs you to keep the doors open. The wrap rate is the sauce to government contracting. Because I don't have to think anymore. When I tell my business development team, I go, hey, can we put our wrap rate on top of it? They go, yeah, and some. Well, I like that opportunity to go after it. Because I don't give a damn what it's about. All I care about is dollars and cents. I keep stressing that to people. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Your wrap rate makes everything make sense. But in order to get your wrap rate, you got to understand real business. I can't explain that no other way. How long do you have to be in business before the government can start working? Today. You can start working today. How do you get funding if you win a contract? Great question. You can use your credit cards. You know what I'm saying? I really, 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 really like using credit cards for this type of situation. Mainly because I get points. I live my lifestyle off of my credit card. My points give me my lifestyle, not my cash. That's what a crazy person would do. My cash is an employee. I don't hold cash. I don't hoard cash. It goes to work. It goes to investing because it can work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So instead, I use credit cards. Okay. Now, if you understand this, now here goes another thing. People talking about I ain't making no money. Now imagine this. Understand the game plan. I done heard all this credit stuff, which is just crazy to me. I don't even know why people listen to them. But anyways, imagine you got a credit card, right? You got the government that's ordering $50,000 worth of products. Now, the fool would tell you put 10%, 18% markup on that, and then you end up losing. But I'm telling you right now, you ain't never got a taste of this. So why don't you put $1 on it? Just $1. What is that going to make you? $50,000. Okay, cool. It ain't making you no type money. May even make you less than that. Maybe you only make $5,000 out of a $50,000 deal. That's great money. That's 10% right there. I need to go even lower. Let's say you make $1,000 out of a $50,000 deal. You're going to be happy about this because we're going to use the credit card. Why are we going to use the credit card? Well, one, I get to swipe a transaction for $50,000. My profile now shows $50,000 being transacted in there. I get to utilize $50,000 on my credit, and I'm going to get the $50,000 plus back for the government to pay it off. That's a complete transaction that looks amazing on a profile. Not only does it look amazing on a profile, if I consistently keep doing this and I'm not worried about making profit, I build up major points. And if you just take a look at your money, you're probably spending maybe somewhere around 18 to 20% of your money on a luxury lifestyle that you shouldn't be spending that on. I just eliminated your 18 to 20% luxury lifestyle, whether it's traveling, staying in hotels, eating at fancy restaurants. I eliminated that by earning you points on that credit card. So you may thought that you was only getting $1,000 off of it, but your points just erased that 18% of what it costs for your luxury lifestyle. So that's a come up that you could do with the credit card. So that's one way. Another way, if you can't get the credit cards, like I couldn't get credit cards when I first got started. I came out of college, had student loan debt. They wouldn't give me no damn credit card. Thank God I got a house in the beginning. A foreclosure, and that foreclosure immediately had $80,000 of equity in it. I took the equity out of my house. I didn't travel with it, say what I deserve and play around with it. I took the $80,000 and I went and got government contracts with it. I flipped the $80,000 in 3 months. And trust me, I asked every person that I went to college with, could I borrow some money? Every single one of them left me on red. But they always was ready to pop bottles with me, which I can't understand. But anyways, I had to go get this equity out of my house. I made so much money in the first 3 months. I tried to pay the equity line back, and I found out that you actually get penalized for paying equity back too soon because they calculated how much money they were going to make off of interest on me. And I said, I don't need the money no more. And they like, well, nah, hell nah, that ain't what you signed. We're projected to make this amount of money off you. So and there's factoring companies too. So the moral of what I'm trying to tell you, money's not the issue. Win the contract and you can get the money. That is what I'm trying to get to you. Trust me. You as a person, you as a mind, as a human being, see, we be too scared to put pressure on ourselves. But I want to ask everybody this. How many of you guys have ever said in your life, this is the worst time that I've ever been in. This is the worst time I've ever been in my life. I want you to go ahead, put a me in the chat where you're watching from, if that's you, whether you're watching it now or on replay. You ever said, man, this is the worst time that I've ever been in. And see, I asked you that because you're here to tell me that that was you, right? So that lets me know that you can get through pressure. We all can get through pressure. We face pressure every day. But we're too scared to put pressure on ourselves. Put the pressure on yourself. I'm telling you right now, you will be able to get the money if you win a contract. Because guess what? Since you know how much money you're going to need before you even go after that contract and you know you ain't got no money, your ass gonna find money. And everybody's going to tell you how much it costs to obtain this type of money that you need. Guess what you do after that? If they tell you in order to obtain $100,000, you're going to have to pay 5% interest on that $100,000, well, put the 5% interest on the price that you charge the government. Because if you charge them anything less than 5%, it's automatic that you lost. So we know starting out the gate, if I want to touch that $100,000 over there, I better at minimum, just to break even, mark my price up 5%. But you would be a fool to just stay at 5, at least make it 6, right? So now when I win the contract, I can immediately go to the person with confidence that I need that $100,000 and I will pay you back. Here's the contract. And boom, everybody goes home happy. But don't make no excuses of why you ain't going after these contracts. All right, this is my last question and I'm done. Can you have one man cleaning business and still work with the government? Yes. Yes, you can do whatever, man. The government ain't asking all of that, guys. They don't care. They just want you to get the work done. And however you need to explain it before you submit the proposal, then you need to get yourself up to that. So, if you're a one-man cleaning company right now, and you go after a contract that needs 15 people, well, when you win that contract, damn it, hire 15 people. Ain't that where we want to be? Don't we want to grow? You don't want to be a one-man shop all your life, because if you stay that way, honestly, you just created your own job. I started this thing telling you guys I generate money off of OPT, other people's time. This is where you all want to be, making money off of OPT. All right? You guys can all do it. Once again, I hope that you guys enjoyed this information. Are they still awarding contracts till the end of the year? All right, this is the last question. Look, government moves 365 days a year. What you heard was that was the end of the last fiscal year. The government is currently in the 2024 fiscal year. They're not in 2023 anymore. Okay? Government stops their spending for the previous budget on September 30th. So whatever money didn't get spent from the 2023 budget is lost. They had to get it all out of the door by September 30th. It's a use it or lose it situation. Now we are in the first quarter of the government's fiscal year. You guys heard about the government shutdown. That is why they were shut down, because a budget hasn't been signed to start spending money for this fiscal year. Now, what they ended up doing was patching it up for 45 days. So after 45 days, they can't spend no more money until the budget gets signed again. But the minute that budget is signed, it's back to spending that money immediately. So the government will keep spending money every single day that we open our eyes. It just so happens the most contracts come out in the fourth quarter of the fiscal year. Now, I said the most contracts. I did not say the most money. The most contracts come out at the end of the quarter because it's a use it or lose it. Money gets spent every day, all day with the government. It ain't no when the most money comes out with government. All the time. And that means all the time there's opportunity for you to work with this customer. It ain't no one specific time. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this information. Put a fire emoji down in the chat, no matter, again, if you're watching this now or if you're going to be watching this on replay. If you enjoyed this information, don't forget, you can visit puremoneyspecial.com to take advantage of our special that we have there. This will be available until Sunday at midnight. Also, if you would like to take advantage of the SB Money Flow, that deal will only be available till Sunday at midnight. If you want that one, go to sbmoneyflow.com. Take advantage of that. And I'm going to be looking forward to getting you guys up to another level. Outside of that, we're back on YouTube, guys. I apologize. I know I've been MIA on my content. But it was the fourth quarter of government contracting. And honestly, as I do this as like a hobby, this ain't my main money maker. So I had to sit my ass down and focus on the real money for a quick second so we can get out of this quarter. But I'm back now, as well as I wanted to put on a show this time for you guys, man. As we grow, as you guys, invest in what we got going on. I use this money from my hobby to become better at the hobby. And you guys are seeing a transition. So I'm very appreciative of each and every person that supports what we got going on. But I honestly dump all of this money right back into all of these tools and this platform. So you're going to see a whole lot of new virtual studios when I go YouTube live. Also, I'm finalizing things with me. And if you guys know my brother Hamza, we're going to create this podcast called Dollars to Cents. So we can help you guys understand a little bit better about the mindset and the principles just around money, guys. I mean, I really don't believe that, this stuff should be as hard as it is. But if we've never been taught the information, then you just don't know. So what we're going to try to do here with that Dollars to Cents podcast is really start to break down stuff so you can start to realize, like, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And if it's making too many dollars, it don't make sense. When someone tells you that you could give them this amount of money and in return you'll learn information, or not learn information, or you'll get results that $100 turn into $100,000, like that don't make, that's too many dollars for the $100. That's now dollars ain't making dollars, right? That's something crazy. Nobody gets those type of returns. Those are lucky returns. So when people say things that are just ignorant, we need to start catching on and go, well, wait a minute. You're not going to mess with my emotions right now of trying to make me think that I could turn $100 into $100,000, because that don't make sense. Instead, you're going to understand if you invest $100, you should be okay getting $20 out of that. That's a 20% return right there. Now that makes sense. And that's what we're going to start stressing to you guys. So be on the lookout. Don't forget, follow the YouTube channel if you already haven't, because that is exactly where we're going to be posting all of the information and where the updates, as well as follow me on my Instagram channel so you can stay updated, because I do make a lot of pivots. I'm telling y'all right now, I will switch things up in a minute. And 9 times out of 10, I tell you guys about those switches, changes, and everything that I go through in this entrepreneur journey right there in my Instagram story. So you guys, it erases in 24 hours. That's why I do it on Instagram story. And ain't nobody got no evidence. But outside of that, again, I appreciate all of you guys tuning in. Tell somebody else about what we got going on over there. The video will be on the YouTube channel for a replay if you want to go back and watch it. Got to get ready for this football game. Let's hope I win some money. I'll talk with you all later. Love you all and have a good night.